Hey, paisanos, it's the
Excuse me, princess.
Super Show!
Welcome back to the Excuse Me Princess Super Show. I'm John.
I'm Aaron.
And we're watching all of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and the Legend of Zelda cartoon in its airing order, so that we don't just watch the Zelda cartoon.
Which we just watched a little while ago, and now we have to put up with this swell.
Yeah. The episodes we're looking at today are the live-action segment Mamma Mia Mario, and the Mario episode The Great BMX Race. Now, do you remember your predictions for these?
I sure do. For Mamma Mia Mario, it was supposed to be an ABBA cover, full length of the Mamma Mia musical. Unfortunately, that did not happen.
Not quite. And I think for the BMX race, I think you pretty much predicted that there'd be a BMX race.
Or that it was the prequel to Mario Kart.
Right, the
Which
Super Mario Kart.
Which kind of was what it was.
More than you'd think, but less than you'd want.
Yes.
Now, do you want to... You can lead us off when talking about the live-action segment and its various guest stars.
Oh, good.
Who, at the very least, were on set, unlike Magic Johnson last week. Or last episode.
All right.
I guess it would have been last week because this would be the Monday. Also, it aired originally on September 18th, 1989.
Ooh, 1989. Every episode we've listened to has been 1989.
So
and by
far.
listened to, I mean watched.
Yeah.
I make it a point now that my phone goes away when the episode goes on, and I have to pay attention. John, I don't care. But for the live action segment, it starts off with Mario and Luigi sitting on the couch eating pizza in their own filth.
Pretty much. Having once again forgotten their family motto of neatness counts.
I think they keep on forgetting the last part of that, which would probably be something like neatness counts for nothing.
Maybe that's it. No, the place is even more filthy than usual, and they're sitting on the couch pretending to play Nintendo by holding the controller in one hand.
Eating pizza.
And eating pizza.
Leaving the crusts.
And basically just talking about how much they love living away where nobody can tell them what to do, what to wear, and when to clean. And then the pizza phone rings, as it so often does.
And when Luigi goes to answer it, first find it because it's buried under pizza. That he didn't order because he doesn't remember ordering pizza with green mold on it.
Did anyone order penicillin on their pizza, dude?
A frantic, seems like an emergency level phone call has come in with a lot of, oh no, okay, stuff like that from, Luigi, and you can't hear the other side, and Mario's worried that it's about a boiler that broke up.
Yeah, an exploding water heater. All you hear from over the phone is the usual fast-forward tape noise.
And then once, Luigi, hangs up, Mario ends up asking whether or not it was from the hot water heater. When Luigi says no, and Mario wipes the sweat off his face. Until Luigi reveals that it was their mother that was on the phone. And they panic. They need to clean up the place. They need to put fresh green vegetables on the table.
Because Mama's coming to visit.
And once,
First we have a lovely, fast-forward cleaning montage, not unlike the ones made famous by the Big Comfy Couch. And then, Mario grabs a pile of crud and disappears through the side door into the black void beyond.
This is when, Luigi goes to answer the doorbell. And immediately gets hit with a hard right hook from his mom. Who is played by, surprise, surprise, Captain Lou Albano.
So I'm guessing that Aunt Mary Ann is from his mother's side of the family. So there's a resemblance there.
Yes.
Did they even paint over his mustache this time?
Yes. Barely.
Barely, okay. Maybe it's YouTube compression.
It was enough. Yeah.
Speaking of YouTube, if you want to watch the episodes we're watching today, you can watch them for free, legally on YouTube, on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel, and on Amazon Prime. We forgot to say that, because we have things to say about this.
Yes. We have a lot to say. We have some exciting news in this episode. And not that we're going back to Hollywood.
Oh, good. But anyway, Mama comes in, and she's most displeased with their lack of progress when it comes to keeping the house clean and not talking back to their mama. And by talking back, I mean answering her questions.
And not having the entirety of Brooklyn cleaned up for her.
Pretty much.
Because she puts the two to work.
Which is when we cut away to the Mario cartoon.
Yes.
And then when we get back, it's time to watch some clips from The Legend of Zelda, which is, at the very least, is their mama's favorite show, too.
Which says something about Mama's taste. And of course, at this point, their mother has driven them insane with the need of the cleaning of the house, the need of them eating healthy food.
Having to find constant ways to send Mario to do things off screen so that Mama can be on screen at the same time as Luigi. But eventually, Mama gets a phone call, and
she has won the lottery.
So she's gone, and the boys are back in town, and they immediately start kicking the trash cans over to put the mess back. And by that, I mean they play that footage backwards of them cleaning up.
Yes. And it was great. It was horrible. It was awful. I hate everything about it, and I want to watch it again. John, Can we stop this episode and watch it again and come back and review it?
Maybe, but first we gotta talk about the tag. They say the only thing that could have been worse is if it had been Aunt Luigina come back. Presumably having given up on chasing Lyle.
Yes.
And then the doorbell goes off again, or the door starts knocking. Luigi runs off so that he can actually get a real winning lottery ticket for Mom, in case it is her. Mario answers the door, and gets a left-facing hook purse to the face. It's Aunt Luigina.
And that's when we cut to do the Mario.
Yeah, and at least Aunt Luigina has the good sense to do the Mario.
Unlike Magic.
Yeah.
God. I'm still not sure if he was being sinister on his magic tricks.
It's hard to say. At least we know Mama and Aunt Luigina were being sinister on purpose.
Yes.
And by sinister, I mean stock overbearing Italian mother who tells you to shut up your face and don't to talk back.
Yes. Exactly that.
And only that. And go clean of the brook and the bridge.
So, Mamma Mia.
Yeah, I think I put it sort of in the upper half of the live action segments.
Better than Magic's Magic.
Yeah, which was in the bottom too.
Yes.
But I mean, this one had a lot of kinetic energy. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of gags a minute. There wasn't a lot of downtime where you just sit there and wait for something to happen.
I put it right with the vampire episode, I think.
That's kind of in that area.
Yeah.
Not as good as the Ghostbusters one, but I would put it above the vampire one and the Frankenstein one.
Yeah, the Frankenstein did have some great moments.
Yeah, but by its nature, it was more sedentary with the beds and the machines and stuff. This one, again, there's lots of jumping around. There's lots of jokes. The fast forward bit is always a good bit.
Yeah.
So I'd put it in the upper. Let's see, we've seen 11, so it's sort of in the upper third, I guess, is a good way to round it up for me.
Yeah, same. Probably, it's definitely in the top. I think 4 for me.
Yeah. Plus, it had the premiere of one of my catchphrases from my youth, which is Mario Brothers Plumbing. You clog 'em, we clear 'em. Which I definitely would have cribbed off of seeing this episode on You Hooligans back in 2004, as I mentioned in the first episode.
The pilot, part 1 of 3.
When we were live from the tin can, instead of live from the cat cave. We're still in Aaron's cat's domain, but okay, that's just spooky. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that on the mic, but as soon as I said that, one of them came in and meowed. Now you'll definitely be able to hear that one.
Oh.
Okay.
You can stop now, Poppins. You have done your job.
Yeah. Last thing we need is a mascot. But anyway, anything else on Mamma Mia Mario?
No, I think that was actually pretty good on dealing with all of that.
I think it might be the stronger half of the show this time.
Not that the other one was bad.
We'll see. We'll see. Just jumping in here to say if you're listening to us on YouTube, please give the video a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Every 2 weeks you get the podcast, and every Wednesday you get a YouTube short that's one of our best of clips. You can also find those on TikTok at Excuse Me Super Show. And if you're listening to us on a podcast service that lets you give ratings, please give us 5 stars. Help us get up the charts and find even more listeners. And getting into that, the cartoon episode, The Great BMX Race.
Man, if only there was a BMX race that we could go watch right now. Or Mario Kart.
Yeah. So, Mario and Luigi are on what seems to be a motorized BMX racer bike.
Tandem.
Bike. But I mean, neither of them are pedaling.
No, but...
But it's tandem as in they're both riding it. And then they're towing Toad and the princess in a bathtub behind them.
With Toad using the...
Oh yeah, Toad is swinging around doing gymnastics on the shower fixture. And he bends it forward and he's looping around and the princess claps and then they rewind the footage and he loops it back around and bends it back up and the princess claps in reverse. And you know what kind of episode you're looking at. But go ahead.
It was quite good. It started off very strong, kept going strong, and everyone enjoyed this entire episode of Toad just doing that.
Over and over again for 15 minutes. But eventually, they pull off to the side of the road. They're assaulted by a fry guy, which is one of the bosses in Mario 2. When you would hit him with, not a vegetable, it's one of those rooms where they give you the 4 big mushrooms you pick up and throw. And you hit him and he'd split into 2, and then he'd split into 4. I might be thinking of a different guy. I think that's Fry Guy. But anyway, in this case, he's just spitting hot fire, which is more appropriate than it was when I said Ganon was doing it. And it turns out, supposedly, Toad owes him 60 gold coins, and he'd better pay up.
This is when we find out about Toad's depressing and crippling gambling issue.
Yeah. According to Princess Toadstool, King Koopa took all their money, and that's not counting the so far 200 coins they've donated to the Mushroom Orphans Fund, unless that's a front.
That's as we've discussed, that's just Toad's money laundering.
Yeah.
Toad is the real villain of the show.
So, but it turns out, Fry Guy leads them to the starting line of the Great BMX Race, with prize money that'll surely cover Toad's gambling debts. So the Mario Brothers agree to, sign up and race on behalf of their friend. And they figure they're there alone at first until Koopa's cavalry shows up. It's Mouser, missing his mustache.
And still no longer French.
Yeah, although I don't know what kind of accent he does have.
No.
You got Triclyde, no longer Roman. And a pair of Koopa Troopas, I think, right?
Yes. I think it was just one.
Oh yeah, it was a pair later on. Well, they're busy gloating. The Mario Brothers get a head start, which is fine, except we never hear any kind of starting signal or gun or anything, so...
It was just the Mario Brothers cheating.
Yeah, but I think they're just ahead of the curve in this race when it comes to it.
What was that Hanna-Barbera show about racing?
The wacky one?
Yeah.
The wacky one about racing?
Yes.
I can't remember.
It kind of reminds me of that a lot for this entire episode.
There is a bit of Wacky Races energy, especially once Princess Toadstool ends up tied up, just like Penelope Pitstop. But anyway, Toad and Princess Toadstool are watching through binoculars from the top of this hill spiral mountain thing. And they shift 2 degrees to the right and see King Koopa and some more goons getting ready to cheat. Turns out the whole thing's a trap. Big surprise.
But when Mouser's involved, you have to expect Koopa to be there.
Yeah. Or when there's a Koopa Troopa involved.
What if he was just a rebel without a cause? Trying to find a cause.
This isn't Paper Mario. There are no good Goombas and good Koopa Troopas.
There could be later. I believe, in my heart, that all Koopas and Goombas have the possibility of being good. Mousers, f*** them.
Yeah, not so much for Mouser. Anyway, so they're plotting something. And what was their first plot?
It wasn't roll the boulder onto Mario.
Yeah, we thought they were going to roll this boulder down onto them, and instead they just ran down the hill at them really fast.
Yeah, tried to run them off the cliff.
Yeah, which they did.
Yes.
They did run them off the cliff.
And the Mario brothers landed at the bottom, dead. End of episode.
Yeah. Was that before or after Toad and Princess Toadstool tried to warn them?
After, because they stopped them before they got up or were trying to stop them before they got up the hill. And Mario said, "Oh, it's you can even go faster when you have a cheering squad," or something like that.
Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't understand what they were cheering, eh, Mario? And then, of course, the goons on the bikes apparently stop and capture the princess and deliver her to King Koopa, and then still get ahead of the Mario brothers.
Yeah, they knew a shortcut.
Fair enough.
They took the elevator.
It could be. So, so Peach... Oh, I almost made it through the whole episode without saying Peach. Princess Toadstool and Toad are tied up by a giant red snake. I can't remember what they're called from Mario 2. And basically are just there to sass at Koopa. What was it? She says, "King Koopa, you're a lying, cheating, terrible, no good meanie. I try." And, then they begin Operation Avalanche, or whatever it was. And they do run the Mario Brothers off the road, but Mario's bike has a toolkit on the front, and he hucks a plunger, or as they always refer to them in this show, a plumber's helper, back up and pulls a Batman. It's got a rope on it, and it catches them.
And then they pedal up.
Yeah, which apparently winches the rope, which, like, I get it. I can get the through line. But the rope is, like, just nebulously inside the little toolkit basket on the front of the bike. But whatever, it works. So,
somehow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mouser, the Koopa Troopa, and Triclyde are looking over the edge of the cliff, expecting to find their scattered and varied remains, and instead get passed on the track by them.
Yeah.
So King Koopa has to move on to phase 2, which is have Mouser chuck bombs at them, while having the Koopa Troopa shoot this giant cheese ball.
Of spikes.
Of spikes. Yeah, when it explodes, it turns into spikes. But it looks more like a mispainted... I don't know what it actually is.
This is a perfect time to talk about the best animation possible in this series.
Yes. Mouser chucks the bomb, and does he just drive through his own smoke trail, or do they send it back to him somehow?
I think he just... I think they send it back to him. But there's definitely a part where they could have just used a smoke animation where it's like just gray smoke instead of opaque. Add some opaqueness to it.
Yeah.
For a transition. However, instead
Mouser drives through his own smoke hole, however it works, and halfway through, you hear a bunch of coughing, but nothing really changes, and then all of a sudden, Mouser's head is facing the other way, his hair is all frazzled, and his glasses are askew. Like, between frames.
Yes.
There was obviously supposed to be some thicker smoke or another layer of smoke put over it before that happened. And then we had to see it again when we rewatched it with the... This is the part where the cover song would have been, which I'll get to in a minute. And so we were rewatching it. It's like, no, it looks just as terrible. Oh, and this before that, at the beginning of the cover song, Mario is combing his mustache in the mirror of his handlebars and seems to be saying something. And he's not saying anything. He's just opening and closing his mouth over and over again.
You know, it's to make sure he gets as many flies in it as possible.
If I didn't know better, I'd say he was preening.
Oh, we forgot about the couple of things that make this a Mario Kart prequel.
Besides chucking bombs?
Besides chucking bombs, but also the tomato sauce is an equivalent to banana.
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that. And what was the other one before we get back to the tomato sauce?
I don't know.
It just sounds better to say a couple of things.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But no, yeah, phase 2, during the bomb chucking. Oh, I think, is that how he gets him into the... God, this is actually a very dense episode, and it's harder to remember than usual. There aren't the dead points.
No.
Like, I can't even remember where the Princess and Toad's escape fits into this chronology anymore. But at one point, Mario, he was hoping to save this for a real emergency. It's a can of tomato sauce. And he spills it on the road as an oil slick, and it shouldn't work for several reasons, not the least of which is it's a dirt road. But it works, and it causes Triglide to crash, I believe.
Yes.
This is going on, or thereabouts. Toad and Princess Toadstool, the snake that's wrapped around them, has started snoring, and they realize that whenever he exhales, it loosens a bit, and they're able to eventually pull themselves out.
After 2 tries.
Well, you know, once you get the rhythm down. Yep. At this point, King Koopa notices them escape, right after they steal one of his bikes, and he runs along the top of a cliff to try and land on him, and misses.
First, he sends his 2 other Koopa Troopas.
Oh, yes, that's right. The 2 Koopa Troopas he has with him, but all the Koopa Troopas in this episode are animated wearing BMX gloves, even these 2 who weren't on bikes. But they get stuck in a narrow gap trying to get through it the same way, at the same time, Three Stooges style. So Koopa stomps all over them on his way over them.
Even though he's wider than the 2 of them combined, he's able to get through without a problem.
I think stepping up over them got him into the wider mouth of the gorge there.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea of it. Either that or they don't give a shit. But then Koopa tries and fails to catch Princess Toadstool and Toad. Every time there's that verbal stop, that's me not saying the word peach. But anyway, they catch up with the Marios, tell them the whole thing was a trick. But immediately before that, the Marios hide from the goons in a vegetable patch and start chucking vegetables at them, Mario 2 style.
So zucchinis and...
Succotash.
What's a succotash?
I don't remember. I think it's something you make out of something.
What?
You're sitting at a computer, you Google it. I am not Googling succotash.
How do you even spell succotash?
I don't know. Look up Sylvester the Cat's catchphrase. Thuffer and thuckatash. I can't do it. But anyhow, that's...
fresh corn, tomatoes, lima beans, and okra.
That doesn't sound too bad,
no.
Actually.
Maybe one time we'll have succotash on this show.
Only when we run out of other guest stars. But that's what disables the other bikers finally, just as everyone catches up to them. And then Luigi's upset they risked their life for this, and Mario's upset that he wasted his precious tomato sauce on this. So they start chasing after King Koopa on his own bike, pelting him with produce. And that's when they cross over the horizon and we iris out. It's a shame they didn't actually catch him and finish him off right there. And that's when we cut back to being told to check out clips from Friday's episode, The Legend of Zelda, which is one I'm more familiar with than most.
And I already know what it is as well. I remember it. I've watched it at least once. I've probably actually watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
Because I can remember it.
If it's the one with the live action segment that I think it is, we're in for a good time.
Ooh, is it another Ernie Hudson at live action? Because that would be nice.
No, I think it's the one with Maurice LaMarche.
Oh.
Yeah, don't give the game away. We'll get to it. But if it is that one, I love that one. So, the Great BMX Race. A denser than usual episode. And I think that works in its favor.
So do I. I was actually kind of dreading this episode when I first heard that it was a race episode, because...
We don't want to get into heavy topics.
I figured that this was going to be a weaker, hey, here's a race, here's Koopa cheating, here's the moral story. Forgetting that the Mario Brothers have no morals.
No, they're almost as crooked as King Koopa can be. What is it they call it on TV tropes? A nominal hero?
Yeah.
Like, they're the good guys, but
Not
only
by much.
Only because they choose to be.
Only because you're seeing it from their side.
Maybe that's it. That's the best way to put it. But I did think it was, in terms of this, at least it wasn't a specific movie parody or TV show parody. They seem to have dipped away from that for the last couple.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the last Mario we saw was Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, and that was a love potion, switcheroo thing. And they couldn't even think of a way to have King Koopa in it.
No.
So I'd say we've rebounded from that pretty well. And I didn't mind Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, but...
I think Love 'Em and Leave 'Em was pretty good. I really enjoyed this one. I still think my favorite is The Legend of Zelda.
Yes. I'm not counting the Zelda episodes.
But my favorite was definitely the first Legend of Zelda. I'm trying to think if there's any of the other ones that really stuck out, but...
The first Mario wasn't a bad start, even with the implications and the feet licking.
Yeah.
This is actually more like that than a lot of the other Mario episodes were.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like the original, including...
Yeah, the long-awaited and oft-mentioned return of Pasta Power. Twice. Not only, right at the beginning they said, hey, we got a bike and it's got Pasta Power. But then just as it's time to escape from the goons, they bust out the nursery rhyme again. Join me in 3, 2...
Oh, shit.
You don't remember? Patty cake, pasta man. Give me pasta power as fast as you can.
Oh.
Or was that no shit? The waveform stopped moving.
That was, I wasn't expecting you to throw me under the bus for me not knowing the nursery rhyme.
Which is just patty cake. But anyway, so our pasta power count, we'll mention it now, so in case I forget to mention it later, as I often have, it's up to 8. It's updated for the first time since episode 4. So, I don't hear your cheers because this isn't a live show, but I bet you're cheering. But let's get into the nitty gritty here. The Great BMX Race was written by Tony Marino.
Who is Tony Marino?
Typical 80s stuff. He wrote for the notable ones I picked out that he wrote for. Some episodes of Muppet Babies, The Real Ghostbusters. Both versions, the Real Good Show and the Slimer one.
Okay.
The Beetlejuice cartoon. Bobby's World. You remember Bobby's World?
I remember Boy Meets World.
That's pretty close, except for one had more Howie Mandel in it. The Little Mermaid cartoon.
Like the movie or the...
No, the TV show.
Oh.
It was, I think it was at the first... Yeah, that was the first of the Disney movies getting a TV show that was sort of a prequel/interquel. Aladdin did it best, but a lot of them did it.
I really like the Hercules one as well.
That was good. The Emperor's New Groove one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember enjoying Timon and Pumbaa. But Aladdin was the best one.
Yeah, I will agree with
that. And then 101 Dalmatians was practically nothing like it, which is probably for the best. But anyway, he wrote some of that. Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
What is Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa?
That's from the era of everyone trying to cash in on the Ninja Turtles.
The Samurai Pizza Cats era.
Yeah, except that's an imported anime.
I know.
But more like Street Sharks or Biker Mice from Mars. Only in this, they're cowboys. They're all cows. They're very humanoid. And I think I might have seen it once as a kid. Apparently it's got a pretty good video game that's kind of a reskin of Sunset Riders.
Oh.
Yeah, which is a decent shooter. Konami, like Super Nintendo era Konami. But anyway, that's the long and short of it for Tony Marino, just another 80s writer. I think we only see him once more, and not for quite a while. The cover song that would have played in this episode was a cover of Shut Down by the Beach Boys. And it's not too bad a cover. We'll drop it in right here, as usual, thanks to the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ on YouTube. You don't need to do that. Thank you.
Anybody for a game of ride and go boom? Hang on, Luigi! Mario! Whoa, nice jumping, Mario!
I don't think the cover song was as integral to the episode as they've been, but it's still better with it than without it.
Yes.
As we've said a million times, this show would be more fondly remembered if the cover songs were still in it. Because that's almost the hook for the episode, or at least as it was airing. Let's see. Now, additional voices. Nobody rose out of the pool, but besides their usual roles, John Stalker as Toad also returns as Mouser. And Koopa Troopa, hey, it's the Mario Brothers. It's the same Koopa Troopa voice. And Fry Guy, who just sort of had a generic tough guy voice that I can't really imitate. And Harvey Atkin, King Koopa, was once again Tri-Clyde. And though Tri-Clyde didn't say a whole lot that I could remember either.
Not overly.
But, ratings.
Ratings.
Let's do the ratings. You start.
I liked it pretty much as... No, I didn't like as much as Zelda. I'm going to give it a 6.5 bikes climbing the mountainside.
6.5? That's pretty generous. I liked it, but I didn't like it that much. I think that... I don't know if the show's just getting better, if it is hitting a stride, now without the limp, unlike what I said before. I'd give it an even 7...
Wait.
I'm leaving it blank so I can cut out your typing noise later. I'm going to give it an even... Wait, what?
You're saying an even 7, but my 6.5 was too high?
I suppose that's fair. 6... Probably a 6.5. You gotta, I'm very easy to please, as anyone who's had to watch a movie with me knows. 6...
Is it 6 or 6.5?
It's 6. I'm just trying to think of a rating. I should have plucked one out.
6 succotashes.
No. 6 Toad gambling debts. Out of a possible 10. Because 100 is what we needed to save the orphanage. If such an orphanage actually existed. Well, once again...
How do you reach out to the show, John?
I was getting to that. If you could believe it.
No, I can't.
But I was going to say, once again, we're finally recording these after some of them have gone up on YouTube, but we haven't gotten any worthwhile correspondence. So, if we do get some messages, we'll start dropping in mail segments. We can always record them later. In the meantime, if you do want to send us some mail, or comments, or talk to, give us your opinion on the episodes, you can reach out to the show on the YouTube comments on Excuse Me Super Show.
You can email us directly at excusemesupershow@gmail.com. That email address, again, is excusemesupershow@gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter/X at Excuse Me Sup Show.
Or you can try to contact us with smoke signals. We won't get them, but it might be a good stress relief for you.
Yeah, it's getting cold outside.
And inside.
And inside. All right. let's do our predictions. I mean, your predictions. Well, this is going to be interesting. All right. The next live-action segment is called Alligator Dundee.
Oh.
Because it's 1989.
Oh. I can't remember the actor who played Crocodile Dundee.
You know, neither can I offhand. Something tells me it won't be him.
I know.
I can't think of his name either. I guess I could look that up. Hey, who played Crocodile Dundee?
Crocodile Dundee has a cast of more than 60
Crocodile Dundee has a cast of more than 60 actors. Here are the first three: Paul Hogan, Linda Kozlowski, and John Mayon.
It's Paul Hogan, anyway. I forgot that there were two Googles in the room. Anyway, so now, what does that have to do with your prediction?
So Paul Hogan is going to show up and wrangle Luigi to the floor for 5 minutes in the start, 5 minutes in the end, because he thinks Luigi's an alligator, and because of how he smells, fights, and bites, it won't deter him.
I'm not an alligator. I'm just a boy from Brooklyn. I have to wear green. But in the middle, they still take time to tell us to watch The Legend of Zelda.
We could only be so lucky.
Alright, and then the cartoon, next episode, is Stars in Their Eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah, so is it going to be a singing competition or a space thing? Or maybe movie star crap?
It's going to be a movie star.
You think movie star
It's
crap?
going to be a bad movie star. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be, get 1 of 10 dirty red carpets out of 10.
You think so? Now, do you think they're going to meet a movie star, or one of them is going to become a movie star and then get up their own hole about it for one episode until they learn their lesson?
First one, then the other. I'm not going to tell you which order it comes in.
Yeah, if they only do one next time, they'll do another the time after that.
Yes.
It's that kind of show.
And we have to do that almost right away after we finish recording.
Ah, it'll be alright. At least we won't have to worry about it for a while afterwards.
Yeah.
We won't have it weighing down on us. Oh my god, is it going to be a movie star or a bad movie star? Or will they become the movie star?
Or is it going to be a movie set in space?
Well, we'll find out soon. You'll find out in 2 weeks. In the meantime, I'm John.
I'm Aaron. Wikipedia exists if you don't want to wait those 2 weeks.
It's true. And you can always watch the show on those places we tell you to when we remember.
Amazon Prime.
Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel.
And some of them have been reconstructed with the original cover songs intact.
Otherwise, as usual, linked in the description is the giant 50-minute long video of just the cover songs with their, attached episode video. So that'll at least give you a hint of what you're looking at.
Once again, I'm Aaron.
I'm John, and until next time, everybody,
do the Mario! Hi, Aaron the Travel Plan Man here, and you've just finished listening to Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. As John mentioned 2 episodes back, this is more than just a little bit of a fun skit at the end of each episode. This is what I do for a living. I'm a travel agent. John says I'm good at it, really good at it, and I used to think I was just slightly above average, but I think what makes me a cut above isn't the fact that I can find you the trips. It isn't the fact that I can get you the deals that you can get from other travel agents. It's the fact that when you book through me, if something goes wrong, I actually take the time on trying to resolve the issue. Whether it be flight cancellations, delays, needing to rebook because part of your tour was canceled, anything like that, I make that my priorities. So if you want to book through me, reach out to me on Facebook at Aaron Shanahan, the Travel Plan Man, or on TikTok at Coast to Coaster or Aaron, the Travel Plan Man. Until next time, keep traveling and do the Mario.